everyone, welcome back to my channel. So many of you have been asking me about the important questions for the upcoming midterm examination. So in today's video we are going to focus on that and starting with the database concept. So first I will share the important questions suggested by the PU board, and these are the questions that the PU board itself had discussed. So make sure that you are preparing all the questions well, and I have already posted a detailed video explaining the database concept, and I will add the link in the description box below. So please do check it out. And in this video, I will guide you on the important keywords and how to present your answer in the exam paper. So don't skip the video, watch it till the end. And one more thing, every alternate days, definitely I'm going to upload the important question from each chapter for the upcoming midterm examination. So please share it with your friends, and those who didn't subscribe my channel, please do the subscription. So without wasting the time, I'm going to start with the topic today. So these are the questions. The first question is explain limitation of manual record keeping. So they had discussed what are the important questions, but they didn't mention that whether it will come in 2 marker, 3 marker or 5 markers. So better you can be ready for 5 marker questions. Okay. So if they're asking 2 marker, only mention 2 points, or 3 marker means 3 points. Okay. So now I will tell you in the first question what are the important keywords. So if you take this limitation, so the limitation of manually keeping record, you have to mention where it is stored. So here you have to mention the important keyword is it is stored on paper. And next one is a time consuming. This is also important keyword. So if you want to search any records, it is a time consuming. And next one is a prone to errors. So what is a prone to errors means you can make spelling mistake or you can skip any of the details. And next one, risk of data loss. So any damage will happen, then it is a risk of data loss, and difficult to handle large volumes of set. Right? If you have large volumes of data, it is very difficult to handle. Right? So these are the limitation of the manually keeping record. So what is the next question? What is DBMS? What are the advantages of DBMS? So DBMS you have to mention. So what is the next question? What is DBMS? What are the advantages of DBMS? So you have to mention what is the meaning of DBMS. So DBMS you have to mention it is a software and that helps users create, store, manage, update and retrieve data from a database. And you have to mention it is an interface between the database and users or application program. That will be the second point. Next, you can retrieve the data from the database through special type of command called querying the database. What is it meaning? Whenever if you want any answer, you will be using the command, right? That we can call it as a querying the database. So these are the points you have to mention it. Next one is advantages. So advantages you can just mention elimination of redundancy. Redundancy means duplication. Next one is a data consistency, data integrity, easy data retrieval, controlled access, scalability and maintenance. So these are all the points mentioned for the advantages. And next question is write any two application of DBMS. So application is very easy question. So where you are storing all the data. Like if you take school, in school you are going to store student details and teacher details. In hospital you are going to store patient details and doctor's details. So whenever they are asking the application, what you have to do, just mention like school or educational institution you can mention, or school or colleges. You can mention it is used to store. Just mention it is used to store the details of teachers and students. And next one, hospitals, if you're taking it, you have to mention it is used to store the details of patient and doctors. So any two application. Any 5 application, I have already posted the video. Please do watch that. And explain the following terms. Database schema, metadata and query. So what is a database schema? Database schema, you have to mention it is a blueprint or design of a database. This is the important keyword. And it defines how the data is organized in terms of tables, field, data types and relationship between the table. And it is also called visual or logical architecture. So these are the 3 points you have to mention. blueprint, how data is organized. It is also called visual or logical architecture. And in example, you can mention any one column or two or three columns, you have to mention it. Next one, what is the question? Metadata. So metadata is nothing but it is a data about data such as table structure, constraint and data types. It is stored in data dictionary or catalog. Here also you have to mention 3 point. So here data where it is stored, that is important one. And it is a data about data. This is very important point. Okay. So example also you can give. In student database, metadata validate roll number as a unique data entries or not. And next one is a query. What is the meaning of query is nothing but it is a request to retrieve or manipulate data in a database. So you can give your own example also. If you want to find the names of all students present on January 1st, or you have to check, find the marks of all the students in class 12. You can give any example. Next one, briefly explain database schema. Just now we discussed what is the meaning of database schema. Next one is a data constraint and data manipulation. So what is the meaning of data manipulation is, it refers to the operation. Manipulation means it is related to the operation. Such as what are the operation you can do, inserting, deleting and updating data. Example, you can mention adding a new student to the student database. That is called data manipulation. And next one is data constraint. So data constraint. So whenever the constraint word comes, remember this point. You are going to rules apply to the column. Why are we applying the rules? To ensure the accuracy, validity and reliability of the data. So what is the constraint? Example is not null, unique, etc. Next one, define the below terms. So all these terms are, see, in the key database key terms, all the key terms are very important. So what is the meaning of attribute? Attribute. So relation attribute is a column in a table. What it defines the characteristics or field for which data is stored. So here the important keyword, at least you can mention attribute is a column in a table. And it describes the characteristics of the column. That also it is fine. And what is the meaning of tuple? Tuple is a row in a table. It represents single record with values for all attributes. Okay, the next one is domain. What is the meaning of domain here? So domain is nothing but the set of valid values an attribute can take. So here the important keyword is set of valid values. Okay, it is usually defined by a data type. And example you can provide here as in gender. In gender, it will be taking the value of male and female values. And next one is a degree. What is a degree? It is a relation is a number of attributes. If you want to calculate number of attributes, that is called degree. Cardinality is nothing but it's a relation is the number of tuples in a table. So these are the important keyword you have to mention it. Next question, define DBMS. Explain the following in the aspect of DBMS. The first one is a database engine, candidate key, query and cardinality. These two already we discussed just now. Database engine and candidate key I will tell you. So mention candidate key. Candidate key is nothing but it is an attribute or a set of attributes that can be uniquely identify a tuple in a relation. This is the important keyword. And in your table, you may have more than one candidate key. And each one is a potential choice for becoming the primary key. So these all are important keyword from the candidate key. And if you want to provide an example, you can mention in the student details, GUID and roll number is a candidate key. Just mention that. And next one, query we discussed, database engine. What is so it is a core software component of a DBMS. So this is important keyword, core software component of a DBMS that process queries and manages data storage, data retrieval and manipulation. So example, when the query is executed, the database engine only fetches or update the required data. Okay, so these are the important keyword here. Next one, explain the rules which are imposed on attribute of the relation. So there are three rules we discussed. One is for attribute rule, another one for tuple rule, and the third one is for relation rule. So here the relation rules are this one. So here all the points are very very important. All values and attribute must belong to the same domain, which means data type. Each value must be atomic, meaning it cannot be further divided into meaningful parts, and multiple values are not allowed in a single cell. A special value called null is used when the data is unknown or not applicable. So these are the four important points you have to mention for state of relation. Next question is explain the role of unique constraint. Unique means what? The value should be different, right? Every value in the column should be different. That is nothing but a unique constraint. Explain the alternate key and candidate key. Candidate key just now we discussed. Alternate key is nothing but, so whatever the primary key we are choosing it, then the remaining keys are called alternate key. Okay, that you have to mention it. So what is the 13th question? Give the terms for the following. Collection of logically related records. What is it called? Database. And DBMS creates a file that contains description about the data stored in the database. So it will be calling about description about the data stored in the database is called metadata. Okay. So that's all for this important question. So these are the questions are suggested by the PU board, and it is like a passing package. If you learn all this question, definitely you can score mark in the midterm as well as the final exam. Okay, so next video I'm going to discuss the understanding data, and understanding data you can expect lot of problems, like problem based questions only they will be asking. They mention clearly about that. So I'm going to solve so many problems, because in description video I solved only one or two, but all the important questions for the problems I'm going to solve it in next class. Until then, thank you so much.